Now the next step is we're going to prepare the foam that's going to go around, that's going to create the gap between the back of the shaker card and the front window. And we're going to do that by using these little pop dots. Now one of the things you have to be careful with is you need to make sure that as you're placing your little pieces of foam tape or pop dots, that they're touching end to end. Can you see what I mean there? I actually have those two pieces touching, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit and let you see that just a little bit more closely. You see that? These little pieces touching here will not allow any of that coffee to escape out of the card when my recipient starts to shake it. So you want to make sure they're all touching. And I'm going to go around the whole perimeter here, which is going to take a few minutes. Now there's different heights of pop dots. Some are thicker. These are very thick. So these make a nice deep window, and you can put more things in there. Maybe you wanted to put, something a little bit bigger in there, like some bigger beads or buttons or something. You want to have enough space inside so that when you start shaking the card, that the things actually move around and they're not wedged in between your front window and your back piece. If you don't need something quite so thick, you can go with the lower profile pop dot. They come in different heights, so just check the packaging and see what works. You can also buy double-sided sticky foam tape at the hardware store, and that works well too. But I like my pop dots. Okay, almost done. And then we're going to get to making our back piece. And you can see I'm just going right around the perimeter, touching end to end with my pop dots so that I don't have to worry about anything falling out. Oops. A couple more. And will one more do it? Yep, I think so. Now, if you had a big gap in there, but it wasn't big enough for a full pop dot, just cut one in half and kind of wedge it in there, and that will be fine. As long as the stuff can't escape, you're good to go. Okay, so now my next step is to create the back window. And I'm going to use a piece of the Pure Luxury Ivory cardstock, and I'm going to use a stamp that says "Good Friends and Good Coffee, much to be thankful for." Okay, and I'm going to stamp my words. And now I'm going to find let's see here. So this one was my acetate, and these two were my frame. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a piece that's going to be just about the same size as my frame so that I can attach it, and it's going to go onto these foam dots, but it's going to be bigger than the piece of acetate. So as you can see, this particular die overlaps a little bit about halfway into the frame. Now we're going to cut that, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut it. Let me zoom out just a little bit for you here so you can get a better view. Okay, we're going to start with the B plate. And then the way I'm going to line this die up, I don't want it to be right in the center like this, because once I fill it up with the coffee is going to cover part of that. So I really want my greeting to be more toward the top of my shape, like that. And then I can have a coffee line down here, and when the card is just standing still, you can still read the whole thing. So we're going to cut that shape. And we'll move the Cuttlebug out of the way. And now we have our back of our window. And you can see once I take the little dots, the little tabs, safety tabs off of there, you can see when I lay that on the back, I've got a little window that I can fill up with whatever I want. So the next step, and I'm going to zoom in here a little bit for you so you can see, the next step is we're going to fill up the window here with some coffee. But we're actually going to lay the coffee onto this part of the card because I can't really flip it over once there's coffee in there, and I can't really see where I'm positioning it if I'm doing it blind if there's coffee in there. So let's lay some coffee right onto our card. And I kind of just make a line about the same size as the greeting. Okay, like that. Now I'm going to remove all the little protective sticker things off of my Pop Dots. Ooh, there's a lot of them. And then, almost done, I'm going to lay this right on top. I'm going to line it up, lay it right on top, like that. See that? And now, when I let go of my coffee, you can see my coffee's in there. I can shake it all up. And then, oops, there we go. And now it's back down at the bottom again. Now let me show you my finished project. In my finished project, you can see I've used some of the patterned paper from the Signs of Autumn kit to create some layers, and I've added some of the twine, which is just such a nice effect for this type of card. And then I've taken the coffee image, I've stamped it, and then I colored it all in and cut it out, and then I've added a little bit of sparkle to that coffee cup using the Stardust pens. And there, when you give it to your friend, they can shake it all up and see the coffee moving, and then they can put it back down and have a beautiful card. There's so many fun things you can put inside a shaker card. Try adding glitter, sequins, or beads for a girly card. Add little safety pins for baby cards, or fill your shaker card with paper clips and make the perfect card for the teacher in your child's life.